Hello there, this is Retro Spirits Guide presenting Virtua Racing Sega Ages. This is by Sega, and it is also by M2, now loading. There's a blocky man there. This is in a bit of a departure for the channel, a modern day Switch game, but it is a modern day Switch conversion of a retro game. So we are in the ballpark, and this one is Virtua Racing. The first arcade racing game which felt like a proper 3D arcade racing game experience. I mean, there were 3D games before this, but this one was super smooth, and here it is in some semblance of glory running on a Switch at 60 frames a second, even though my video doesn't. So, Virtua Racing, everybody's played it on the Mega Drive, surely, where it is a pixely, blocky mess of a game. Still retains that Virtua Racing kind of feel, especially Sonic the Hedgehog-y, sonically, when the Mega Drive can kind of compete with the arcade machine. Visually, it couldn't really. Whereas this is resplendent. This has a longer draw distance than the arcade. It has a higher resolution than the arcade, and it has a widescreen, and it has up to 8 players on a single screen, and it has 60 frames per second, and it plays kind of how you remember too. I don't have a steering wheel controller for the old Switch. I don't know if one ever exists, or has existed, or will exist. I'm playing this on an analog joystick. And it's very, very cool. It's very, very cheap on the old Switch store. Let's just get it out there. I recommend getting this game if you're a fan of Virtua Racing. The game itself has a feature which I don't remember from the arcade, and that's tyre degradation. So sometimes when you go around the corners, after you've been driving a while, your car slides more, which initially is a bit off-putting, but once you know it's happening, that's cool. I don't ever remember that happening in the arcade machine. Maybe it did, I don't know. But anyway, we're going to drive around this track. As you can see, it's lovely and sharp graphically. You got some I mean, the background's a bit weird, isn't it? The bitmap in the background's quite low colour. I thought the Mega Drive one was low colour because of the Mega Drive, but it appears to be that the arcade version background is also only rendered in 4 colours, which is odd, isn't it? And there's also a bit of a disconnect between the style of the background and the foreground. So you've got fluffy clouds drawn sort of in a cartoon style versus rock solid, hard-edged, flat shaded polygons, which is a bit disconcerting, but it is a choice they made back in the day. So who am I to argue with Sega, the multi-billion-dollar company, and me making a video on YouTube for possibly upwards of 10 people to watch. But anyway, we're racing around. I've got a lap of 40.18 there. That's decent. Have I ever been below 40 seconds on this track? I think I might have. I think I might have gone 39 at one point. You get plenty of cars on the screen here. Look, the AI is not particularly impressive on this game. It kind of just rams into you, which is slightly annoying. I like these little musical stings though. I think they're supposed to signify something specific, because you got that tune twice in a row there. Does that mean it was the fastest section? Don't know. It's game over and I still came first. Imagine a world where that happens. Let's try the next track. So yeah, the draw distance is particularly impressive on this. The arcade game, from what I remember, popped up all over the place. So that's a massive improvement, along with the resolution. I haven't really tried to dip into the manual gears on this yet. Only downloaded it recently, played it a few times. You can change the camera views as in the arcade machine. The roof of that tunnel just clipped out weirdly there, didn't it? Yeah, the collision physics are proper old school. There's no bouncing around. It's literally just spinning out. Which is very arcadey. I don't mind that though. You can knacker your car and then go and get it repaired. I think you can see there my front wing is bent up in some way. If you hit the wall properly, you can kind of completely knacker your car. If you drive over the grass or the curb, I think that makes your tyres degrade quicker. You can see there, from this camera view, which is slightly elevated, I can kind of see over the wall to the outside world. And you can see how the outside world kind of floats over the background there. They haven't added any extra polygons in to hide the gaps. So in the arcade, you couldn't see, the draw distance was limited, so you couldn't see that the background there, say, is floating in mid-air, because it wouldn't render the background at that distance. So improving the draw distance has made the disconnect between the background and the foreground a bit more obvious, but the improvement to the draw distance is very welcome indeed. Nice bit of audio change there going through the tunnel. Yeah, I guess they got the data for the game, the visuals, straight from the arcade board rather than reconstructing all of the polygons. So there was no way they were going to fix all those kind of weird holes. But yeah, the 16:9 presentation is nice too. Audio is great. The controls are cool, and it is well worth punting if you have a Switch. Punting for this if you've got any kind of interest in retro arcade racing games at all. It is very, very cool. Now, fingers crossed for Sega Rally and a Daytona. Be nice, wouldn't it? But yeah, I can't remember how much I paid for this. It was less than £7. Because when I got my Switch, I got a thing where it said have £30 worth of e-vouchers, and I don't generally buy download-only software, but because, you know, I had the vouchers, I got this, and I got the Breath of the Wild expansion, and I got Zero Gunner 2. So my other review on the Switch will be Zero Gunner 2. I might even take a look at Zelda, but this is definitely recommended. It's only got 3 tracks, but you do have that crazy multiplayer. Okay. Flags there, all made out of polys, flickery polys. Japanese flag is a cube rather than a circle, which is odd. Yeah. So you look at the draw distance on that. On the arcade machine you didn't see that far. You could approach this corner with the thing on it, it'd pop in about now, and that was your lot really. It's very impressive. Impressive work they've done here on M2. Yeah, anyway, so recommended. So I'll leave you with the rest of the video, and you can then go out and get your copy. There's loads of options to mess about within a menu in terms of setup. I haven't fiddled with anything, so I can't say what anything does. But yeah, look at the clean, flat shaded poly look. It's beautiful. Beautiful. Might do a bit of a comparison with this in the Mega Drive version, running side by side. But that would be, I mean, the Mega Drive is probably not even a tenth of the resolution of this. I don't really know. It's got that horrible dither pattern on it. Anyway, that's that. Go and get yourself a download of Virtua Racing on your Switch if you have one. Alright then, Cheers.